Welcome back to some professional StarCraft 2. The ESL Open Cup number 69 finals here on North America. I bring you two great players from somewhere that is well known for beating North Americans and getting to the finals of tournaments. First in the bottom right, from Dragon, Phoenix Gaming, and I just realized how confusing the scoreboard is going to be. It's not that confusing, but it is amusing. Among many things. The wild card in the bottom right, it's Zest. Which Zest is gonna show up today? The Zest who looks like he could win everything, or the Zest who doesn't care to win anything? Sometimes both Zests show up back to back. Mid-series, it changes. Well, we've seen Zest crush it to the finals of tournaments and then phone it in. And, but we will see. And in the top left, from Team Envy, a player of old, you might recognize him, from Wings of Liberty, he's back. And, while he's not at the same relative level, of course everyone's better than ever. Still one of the top players. Dong Regu. He was he was before Rain or before anyone, one of the players who's like, oh my god, he has 500 APM. Is that even possible? We need to check his wrists. Does he have 3 hands? Of course, nowadays with young Italians and Frenchmen tearing up things, it's a little less ridiculous, but still incredibly impressive. Protoss versus Zerg. Zest always brings... It's going to be on Zest, I think. DRG has always historically liked his Lingbane styles. That's a little out of favor. Well, in Protoss versus Zerg, honestly, it's either essentially German taxi builds with anything involving queens getting up in your grill and asking to speak to your managers as aggressively as possible. That is the go-to much of the time. And then, of course, you've got your more ultra late game, like lurker-based styles. There's not too many, like, Lingbane, even Hydra Lingbane has kind of fallen by the wayside, because queens are simply better at anti-air than Hydras are. Hydras are more of a... Like their parents are like... The queens are like, why aren't you lurkers? And Hydra's like, I'm just out here living my best life. I went to the Hydra's den. I got some muscular augments. It's like, who paid for those augments? Where's the lurker den? Your brother's a lurker. It's like... Susan, stop berating the Hydras. They're doing their best. It's not even Hive Tech. The lurkers aren't that good. Anyways. Zest with a Void Ray angrily. I don't know how it's so angry, but it's angrily driving back Overlords. The follow-up is going to be a robotics facility, so we're not looking at that double-star Void Ray opener that Zest especially has been a big fan of. Now, is it going to be 1 Void Ray? Or is it going to be 8? Like, that's kind of the question. Or anywhere in between. And the answer is 1. But, does DRG know that? No. Could he know that? If he scouts the Robo, yes. Yeah. Zest did build it kind of, like, right next to the, like, at the front. This is the most half-hearted attempt. I'm pretty sure the Zerglings, if they started nibbling on the gateway for a second. Just the lack of a third is a bit of a giveaway. What are you doing? What is this? Don't just go Glaives. Oh, it's Charge. Which I get... What? That... Why are you... The Void Ray is just in the main, killing drones. DRG tried to cut a few corners by not building a Spore Crawler early. And, well, so Zest just kind of waltzes through, kills 2 drones, and gets out. Like, I don't... Okay. DRG starting to... Now he's feeling comfortable. He sees, oh, you're going to take a third. Okay. Zest has been on 44 probes for a while, and that has not changed. DRG, how does he not see the robo? This is a... Wait, what are you doing, Zest? Is it a fake? Is he trying to show him +1 attack? What is happening? He's getting +1 air attack, which, like, if he's really doing the highest level mind game of, like, why... Was he trying to show +1? Was that a misclick? I don't... What? Because, like, here's the thing. Like, he's trying to show it to DRG, looks at the Cybercore, he's like, oh, you're upgrading air weapons. But, like, the Zerglings weren't even there. Meanwhile, an Archon drop that's like a minute and a half late, and therefore perfectly on time. Surprise! You know what? DRG 100% most definitely did not expect was 2 Archons at 6 minutes. This is out of... What? Zest keeping him on his toes, and here comes the rest of the units, just waltzing across the map. And they just warping in, going for juggling. The Charizards will finish warping. He doesn't even care about the Prism now. Surprise! Here's Zealots. By the way, Zealots, Void Ray, Archon, Zealots everywhere. What's going on? Suddenly, everything is under attack, including the Roachworn and Evo Chambers. Drone's dead. Drone's dead. GG. Zest wins. That's how you do it. Apparently, Another classic, clean, comfortable execution by Zest. What you do is nothing and then attack every base simultaneously, and then you win. Alright, game 2. And in a constant and utter disregard for casters everywhere, they've switched colors. Thankfully, it's not a mirror matchup, much to DRG's dismay. That was... I'm pretty sure that was another very Zest example of how can he know what I'm doing if I don't know what I'm doing? That was like the most medium good parts of 3 different builds smashed together. It was like a build order jambalaya. And he just kind of heated it up, and then he dumped it on DRG's head. And here we are, game 2. Like, what really stands out to me was the +1 air weapons. The +1 air weapons of, like... I really want to know if that was a misclick or if Zest was actually trying to do, like, a way too complicated mind game that was completely out of step with everything else. Because everything else just felt like it was slapped together, but +1 air weapons, like, and then he'll think I'm going... He doesn't think you're going Void Race. He saw the Robo. No one think... There's a Warp Prism in his main. He doesn't think you're going for more Void Rays. It's a little late for that. Zest may have... It is a very real possibility. Zest just completely forgot what he was going for, though. His mind may have been in a different game and, well, a different scenario entirely. Yeah, why do so many flying units come out of the robotics facility? Why can't you build a warp prism in your Stargate? This and many more important questions answered when you subscribe. So it's a Stargate. My spicy senses say this time it will be the Void Race. This time it will be the double star. What? An oracle? What a revelation this is. Wow. So many choices, and he chose one of them. Okay, so he builds one oracle. And now he builds a second oracle. Moracles. At this rate, very soon he'll have foracles. And according to the scripture, this will add to the loracles. And all the Zerg players who lose their drones will suddenly say they're just boracles. The real question will be, can Zest hold the doracles? Or will Winter finally put people in a state of snoracles? Anyways, Oracle's definitely not Void Race. This Oracle does nothing and also is now at half HP with no shields. Yes, these are some deplorable puns. I do agree. Thank you, Twitch chat. Also, Twitch chat asking, was there a nerf on Oracles? No, there was a buff to Void Race. Which was, indirectly, a nerf to Oracles, which should be reverted, I think. And Queen should not have an anti-air attack. Just while we're at it. Meanwhile, there are 4 Adepts, because... And there are also 5 Queens, who are very unhappy that the Adepts are here. They can't really do anything about it. But... Suddenly 10 drones are dead, because the Oracles being mediocre was a decoy for 4 Adepts being mediocre in very different ways. And suddenly 12 drones are dead, and there's no chance these Zerglings are actually going to do damage because the Oracles exist. So somehow, I don't know how he's done it. I mean, I've seen all of it. I've watched it. I've watched it very closely, possibly too closely. But somehow Zest is like, just way ahead. Almost nothing has happened. But DRG, oh my god. Oh, that sentry, how is it? Okay. There's some weird physics. Wait a second. The Oracles ran out of energy. Where did the other Oracle go? Just left him. Oh, Brenda! Oh, I told you, speak quietly. You shut up, Karen. I'm so angry about this. They're so Protoss, so stupid. Ah! Okay, so the most fierce of attacking forces DRG could put together somehow is good. Like 4 Queens and a dozen Zerglings will kill Zest third. Zest has maybe overreacted a bit at the natural. So I have no idea. I'm getting whiplash right now. Because it looked like Zest was about to win the game. And now he's definitely losing. He's got multiple cannons. He may, like... I feel like Zest is always playing 2 games at the same time. This is the only explanation. Is Zest is playing 2 games at the same time. He's like alt-tabbing back and forth. And he's like, oh shit, Queens! Builds a bunch of cannons, goes back to his other game, warps in some charge lots, wins, and it's like, oh, I should take a third. Like, the Queens, with great purpose, their mission completed, go home and spread the creep. It's gonna be hard to go back to spreading creep after they've had a taste of Nexus, but they do what they gotta do. Huh? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Zest! Are you kidding me with that? Really? He recalls one oracle that was not in danger. Who knows what Zest will do next? Like I've said it before, and I don't mean to say it's true, but I'm saying if you had to choose one StarCraft professional as like if you had to pick out, you said one of the top 12 StarCraft pros is a serial killer. It's definitely Zest. I'm not saying any of them are, but I'm saying if one was, it is 100% Zest. There's no question. You'll never prove it. But what is it? Blake Stalker Sentry? What year is it? You know what? He's not only playing 2 games at once. One of them is in 2013. He has also mastered time travel, which makes being a serial killer much easier. All right, so force field with stasis. He's got cannons here. DRG, this is a knockout army. Like, Blink Stalker Sentry is not gonna cut it. Right? I mean, the force fields are beautiful. The Zerglings pop out. I mean, you kind of knew that was gonna happen. Oh, the queens are back! Revenge! Brenda. Oh. Tomorrow! After a good night's sleep. And, we regain our energy. But at dawn, there's no day-night cycle. You know what I mean? Okay, so DRG decided not to press the issue, which means Zest now has disruptors because we haven't checked those off the bingo card yet. DRG, we're gonna see some Mutt-Mutts. I think now is the time for the wild Muta switch. What do you think? I think it's always time for the wild Muta switch. Like, he could go Hive, but that's the boring play. Or he could just make like 700 Banelings. It would take some time. You can't make 700 at once. But over time, cumulatively. Okay, so the rocks with it. Oh, he blinks. Wow. That happened. Okay. Meanwhile, an attack on the left flank. The Oracle patrolling in the most hard to watch manner. Alright, where are those Ruptors? Oh, the danger balls. Oh, he fires a volley. Oh, juicy! Juicy hits! Oh! Oh! Oh, that's... Baby, you got a stew going. Shield battery overcharge. The slow Banelings. The Zealots are on hold position. They just stand there and take it. Zest leaves them on hold position the entire fight. The absolute psychopath. I don't... And suddenly, Zest is on the attack. Everyone, full-on select all army. Everyone... okay, alright, here, we're doing... This is happening. Blink Stalkers, the Zealots. There's a Disruptor here. Disruptor didn't last long. He's morphing Archons in the middle of the fight. Loses the Prism. Like, that was, Of all the places to merge Archons, he possibly picked the worst one. So Zest, always one to subvert expectations. He takes what was a surprisingly competent army after a stalwart defense and loses every single bit of it within 15 seconds. So, like, an impressive play there. I really didn't think Zest could do it. But he showed us how to lose that whole army. Like, incredibly efficiently. He just... Wow. And right, like, just grabbing really a long reach from the jaws of victory, he was able to snatch the slightly fermented pineapple of defeat. And here we are. It's not over. Because DRG now has to attack Zest. Which historically has not gone well. But he does have 85 drones and 5 bases. Fully mining. Zest has... He just kind of stopped. He has one disruptor. Does he have Storm? No. He's just given up on micro here. He went Sentry, Blink Stalker, into Disruptor, and then he decided, I'm just going to F2 across the map. Not really an F2 army. He's got a danger ball in that prism. Oh, he fires the money shot. And he holds, but... Meanwhile, off camera, 24 probes, which is about 20 too many. It's gonna be tough. He's building 4 probes. That's his whole army. Fires a shot. Oh, Disruptor gets a connection. This Disruptor gonna put the whole... This Disruptor gonna do more damage than Zest's entire army one attack ago. On its own. And it has to. Because that's where we are. DRG gonna get all of the Hive Tech. He's got Ultraless Cavern, Vipers, Adrenal Glands, +1 Carapace. Zest, Probes, and a Disruptor. I mean... Well, that was optimistic. You know he's watching. Well, this isn't good. Oh, the mainlings got a little distracted. Okay. Meanwhile, 11 probes go down. DRG's maxed out. Okay. Zest looking for an opportunity to take out some chunks. Some meaty chunks here. The whole army is chasing DRG. Not willing to let that happen too easily. Somehow Zest still in the game. Army supplies nearly even. DRG gonna play some 300 supply Zerg. Very Wings of Liberty-esque. Alright, Zest has Archons though, which counter all Zerg units. Technically, they have extra damage to biological, and everything including buildings is biological. Okay, alright. So Vipers can pull Disruptors and interrupt them. They can disrupt the Ruptors, if you would. So that's... He Parasitic Bombs a War Prism, which, I mean, they don't have the ability to repair it, because the Terrans have a monopoly on that. Which is annoying. Okay. It's a lot of Banelings. When you're hitting Archons with Banelings, you're like, yes, give me more. Well, maybe one, you should reconsider that decision because that was a terrible idea. You're not that far ahead. There's no such thing as that far ahead. So here we are. And then he just leaves. So I think maybe some more... No more probes died. He just decided that was enough. That's enough. So Zest really taking control of that game. For both sides. Zest both winning and losing that match very effectively. We saw so much. So much happened. I gotta point out, as we load into the next game, Zest is using the Neeb portrait. DRG is using the Cyril one. Just throwing that one out there. The inspiration for these players, obviously. Here on NA. This might just be their NA account setup. They gotta blend in with the crowd. Yeah, this is, once again, another series with Zest, another series defined by Zest. It feels like DRG is just kind of along for the ride. I mean, he perfectly competent. He took advantage of all the opportunities. But at the same time, like, I feel like DRG is also confused. I'm sure after the fight of the third, the first fight where Zest really turned it around with some amazing, like, great disruptor hits, impeccable force field. Like, it was all incredible. And then Zest just F2 A-moved, like, 3 different paths down the map while warping in Archons on top of the army and losing his prism. Zest just, like, unplugged his keyboard for that attack. I can't explain. Zest sends out his probe very early, by the way. Like, a lot of Protoss do this. Essentially, as Zerg, your natural is your third or their natural. Those are your options. But Zest is particularly annoying with his probes, which just fits. Like, he sends out a probe early, and then he sends out another probe like 4 seconds later to build his pylon. That's how committed he is to being an annoying probe. There's no multitasking. That probe is there to annoy the Zerg, and that's it. Oh. He's gonna build on the edge of his base. A very sneaky Stargate here. Nobody will expect it in the most obvious dark corner of the base. Why? What are you doing? Are you looking... What? Was he looking for it? Or... Maybe? Maybe he was just confirming there was an overlord? I guess. Because you can't see it unless you're on the even... But still, like, of course there's an overlord. I'm just scratching my head. I've been doing that this whole series, but, What did you see? What did you see? So it's an oracle. I think the Void Ray idea went better, but we're gonna try the Moracles here. I mean, it was fine right up until Zest decided to lose all the important parts of his army. So even though the Oracles didn't do great, they did well enough. And when you keep a Zerg from getting their natural, there isn't that creep spread, which Zest is now exploiting. It's harder to actually deal with units flipping in between your bases, which makes adepts better as well. But he's building... Okay. We're going to 4 gates with nothing else. He's just building a bunch of adepts. I mean, he kind of did... I'm not sure if this is exactly the same as before or just similar. There's not a Twilight. There's not a Robot. There's no Glaives. These are just stock adepts. Okay? Plus shipping and handling. They're still dangerous, especially against someone without a Roach Warner. DRG just now starting it. The Queen's starting to get a little concerned. The Knitting Crew convening in the main. DRG has to play the how many drones do I want to lose game here. Because you want to build as many drones as possible, but you build a few too many and suddenly you just end up losing half of them. Yeah, it's just a bunch of adepts. It's a few oracles and a bunch of adepts. I say it like something's gonna come to me. But no, it's just a bunch of adepts. Okay. Alright. I mean, it's a lot of queens. Oracles are okay. Queens get 1. Alright. Okay, so... Okay. That happened. 9 adepts for 20 Zerglings. I mean... It seems like that's bad for Zest. He has no tech. His oracles are barely enough to even deal with the lings. But he does have a third and a lot of probes for now. Wow, that was a well-placed force field. There's a spire on the way, which Zest does have a Stargate. But he has to scout this. Where's the spire? So if Zest scouts the spire... The thing is, the spire is kind of like a dark shrine, where if you see it, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Like, just the existence of a spire forces you to play differently. I mean, maybe not Zest. Nothing can force Zest to play differently if Zest chooses not to. The sentries trapped in a prison of their own design. He just kind of loses 3 sentries. It's 300 gas. Don't worry, Constellation Overlord, though. Sorry about the loss of 3 sentries. Here, have this complimentary Overlord. Why was that Overlord there? The world may never know. Well, oracles. This is 1. Only really need 2 anyways. So. Oh, Brenda! What? Why? We can't be expected to get creep everywhere. I've been dealing with oracles this whole time. They can fly! If only... Shh. Shh. Moving on. So, this attack, like, this isn't a real attack. Does he even have a prism? No, he's just building What year is it? He's building pylons. Oh no! The knitting. Wait. Well. Okay. Yeah, this shouldn't do anything. Yeah, DRG should crush this. Blink isn't even done yet. What are you doing? Get out of here! Go home! He's got 10 he's warping in 10 stalkers. See? And in the next episode, they will complete. Meanwhile, half the army's dead. He's using the speedulas here. Doesn't help with blink cooldowns, but does help, like, regally trot away. Oh my god. Loses a stalker and almost loses the pylon. Blunking forward. That's just warping and blink. It's like he's decided that this game is blink stalkers, okay? This is what we're doing. DRG has been working. He's got 1,500 gas. He's been waiting for the opportunity to go mutas. But when your opponent is literally only making blink stalkers, Ravager Ling is definitely a stronger choice. Like, it's not working. Zest agrees. Okay, here we are. Okay, well that's that. Well, there we go. Believe it or not, you can't just make blink stalkers against someone who's already pre-countering them with Ravager Ling because you attacked with a random number of adepts. What are you doing? Remember, this is the finals. By the way, hundreds of dollars on the line. Microing out of the bubble. Like, we tab into the game. Boom. There's a probe halfway across the map. As Zest do. You're just gonna hang out? Not even gonna try to stop? Do it. Do it. There we go. Oh, wait. Zest sees it. Maybe this is part of his plan. Who can know? Is there a plan? There's maybe something. There's like an idea. I'd imagine it's like there's a stew. Okay, he's gonna dip his ladle into the stew, and if out comes Blink and a Dark Shrine, well, that's what we're doing. If out comes Phoenix Sentry, well, so far that hasn't been. Well, we haven't seen Phoenixes, but this has to be a DT game. Like, we've gone 3 games, this is 3 more games than I'm used to seeing without a Dark Shrine. Especially with Zest. Like, the Dark Shrine is 3 games late. So, what is happening? Is he just gonna go Stargate again? Remember, game 1, Zest wins with... He just kind of explodes units into every base simultaneously. Every game since then has been Zest showing all the unit compositions that don't work. Especially when you've already encouraged the Zerg to counter the composition you're going for. Like, when you go for a random number of adepts, he's going to build roaches and lings. Because that's how you counter, especially unglaved adepts. And then when you go Blink Stalkers, which are also countered by roaches and lings, you can't come in here like, oh my god, I can't believe you built roaches and lings. That's just not something you're allowed to do. You're no longer allowed to complain about roaches and lings. And to Zest's credit, I doubt he complains. He just accepts it and moves on because he's got a date with your mom in 5 minutes. So let's get this game out of the way. Okay. So, 2 adepts are making it very uncomfortable for drones to mine from the gold. There's enough Zerglings to make it... He doesn't cancel, which is a mistake. Yes. Alright. So he just loses the adepts, which is not the ideal outcome. Yeah. Zest is still on the Oracle train here. He's, once again, 2 games in a row he's lost by going... I mean, there were other steps to the process, but he's like, well, this game I'm gonna build... Oh yeah, he just keeps building Moracles. What is this? It's getting worse. Like, it feels like he's devolving before our eyes. Like, what am I watching? Warp Gate isn't even done. Why isn't Warp Gate done? Well, he lost all of his ground units. Oh, there goes an Oracle. Oh, wow. Like, Zest fought through this whole tournament at 8 a.m. Korea time. He fought through this whole tournament to get to the finals, and this is what's happening. I mean... I don't know who this is more embarrassing for. Zest or everyone who faced him. But here we are. I mean, DRG did lose some drones on the other side to the Oracles, but he does have a gold, so that's less of a factor. And now, Zest has lost a ridiculous amount of units for it just being Zerglings and Queens. Like, you really should not be losing Oracles, 4 Adepts, like, these are unreasonable numbers. The Zerglings. Glaives are on the way, so the thing you don't want to do right now is lose all your Adepts. The problem with going Glaives is DRG already has Roaches, because Zest has been warping an Adepts for like The entire series. Brenda! Go home! Shut up, Karen. I'm already going home. Stop complaining. It's obvious he's not going Stargate. Not entirely sure that DRG was setting up... Oh. Not entirely sure he was setting up for an attack. Or just a misclick. Probably an attack. Well, the Adepts... He's really working this mineral line here. Don't... Okay. At least he doesn't complete the shade. Still making things awkward. There's just physically not enough energy on the Oracles to be a real threat. Recalls out. And then immediately shades away. So, Zest playing some dimensional mind games here with DRG. He's gonna send the Adepts out again. Now, DRG gonna go with the ultimate counterplay, which is just killing him. While the Adepts are halfway across the map. Oh, wait. Oh, the Wulas. Oh, when you thought Queens couldn't get any... Don't judge me! I'm in a Wula! Is that the technical term? Yes! Oh my god. Some say they'll never cross it, but eventually... Now this, like, is this Bronze League Heroes or is this Zest in a ESL Open Cup Finals? When you see this, it's hard to tell. The way you know it's not Bronze League Heroes is those are shield batteries and not cannons. And the reason it's not cannons is because Zest hasn't built a forge. We'll get there. 5 drones just died to the random ass Adepts. Like, we're still it's all over the place here. Once again, this game has gone sideways, chopped up a couple times, recombined, throw a little salt on there. Baby, you got a stew go. Wait, what are we talking about? ZVP, okay. It appears Zest has given up on, like, 2 Adepts harassing the mineral line. It's an all or nothing. As Adepts do. Spire on the... Like, it's starting to look similar to the previous match. That's definitely with surprisingly more than he had before. But still very weird unit. He's not... Okay, now there's a... Did he see the Spire? Or is he just... Does he smell the Mutas? He does. He actually does, though. If he starts pulse crystals without seeing a Spire, like, he's gotta be convinced. There's no way that's for carriers. He's not just gonna go carriers. Now that I said that, like, he's obviously gonna just go carriers. He has to be expecting the mutas. He's trying to outplay DRG's move that he hasn't even made yet. He barely has a counter to what DRG has right now, but he's trying to counter his next move after that. Which, I mean, here we are. 10 mutas? An Overseer just... Wait, did it? It didn't see. Well, now's the moment. If you're gonna build anything out of these Stargates, now would be... Oh, god damn it, Zest. Oh my god, what are you doing? Oh, he's just gonna build carriers. One of them, very supply blocked. He just either killed a unit, or I'm pretty sure he killed one of his own units, because he's still at 141. He was very supply... And, well... Womp. Womp. As they say. Like... The thing is, the beauty of this is that Zest has every bit of things he needs to counter mutas, but somehow has taken the incredibly narrow path that doesn't actually do it. Thankfully, DRG is just kind of wandering into everything. And Zest hasn't really taken any losses, but that could have been devastating. Instead, Zest is somehow going to get away with just going carrier. I mean, DRG has everything on his side of the map. He's building more mutas, which is something you can do. He's got 5 bases. He should have more than enough to batter down Zest into submission. But, oh, is that build more? You probes and pylons, Zest. 2 things he refuses to build in high supply. Which, I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Well, here come all the immortals too, just for moral support. Alright. I mean, okay, so corrosive biles. These fights are happening. I'm pretty sure that, well, the stalkers are kind of winning. The trades are not great though, as the mutas have +1. He's just kind of killing the Stargate. Meanwhile, the 2 carrier, 2 immortal tag team duo, he lost the Stargate. At some point, you'd think he'd just make Phoenixes, but you'd be wrong. Zest decides that 2 more Stargates might be an okay idea. Oh, the carrier, the shield batteries, though, that's a lot of mutas to lose. The thing is, DRG, he's mining how much gas a minute? Wait, what is the button? 1,000! He's mining 16 mutas of gas a minute! It's tough to lose 16 mutas a minute. Like, he's really putting a good effort in. But that is a tough, even with how fragile mutas are. Losing 16 a minute is tough to pull off. That is actually a stupid amount of gas. You rarely get that much, because rarely are that many bases mining at once before some mine out. DRG really trying to get in here. Zest is on 3 bases. That's like a... Oh, the carrier. Does he have overcharge? He already used it at some point. Zest now, begrudgingly... Let the record state that Zest did make anion post crystals. And not anion? I don't know how to say it. Phoenix range. Let the record show that Zest, after losing all of his carriers, has decided to counter the mutas. The thing is, Phoenix range is actually one of the hardest counters to a unit in the entire game. There is almost no other unit that can fight each other that gets countered. The thing is, the Phoenixes just outrange the mutas at all times. Because they can shoot while moving. Even without range, but with range it's even better. So, Zest had access, and he had the resources to make the most direct counter to the mutas this whole time. And he just didn't. So... I tried Phoenix range. No, you didn't. That is not what trying Phoenix range looks like. That is like... You showed up at the end of the group project, and you were like, you put your name on it. You did none of the work, and also, everyone else in your group died to mutas, and so did you. That's what that was. So, that happened. DRG wins. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment with your honest thoughts. Thank you to ESL. Thank you. Good luck, have fun. Stay chill. What the fuck?